Step into a 1950s holiday kitchen, where the air is filled with the rich scent of sugar, chocolate, and toasted nuts. Every counter and shelf holds small treasures, handmade candies crafted with care, each one carrying the warmth and joy of family gatherings during the festive season. These sweets were more than treats, they were a symbol of celebration, patience, and love poured into every recipe. Today, we will explore 5 classic confections that once graced every holiday table but are now rarely seen in modern kitchens. Each candy tells a story of tradition, skill, and the simple pleasures that define holidays of the past. From soft, velvety creams to glossy chocolate delights, these candies are windows into a time when homemade treats were treasured above all else. By the end of this video, you will understand not only the flavors but also the history and heart behind these lost holiday favorites, and perhaps feel inspired to bring them back to your own celebrations. Vermont Maple Creams. Imagine a crisp winter morning in New England during the 1950s. Snow blankets the streets, and inside the kitchen, the warm, sweet scent of maple syrup fills the air. Among the holiday treats carefully arranged on the counter, Vermont Maple Creams stood out, a small, soft, and buttery candy that seemed to capture the very essence of the season. Made with pure Vermont maple syrup and a touch of cream, these confections were simple yet indulgent, a testament to the care and craftsmanship of home cooks who took pride in every batch they prepared. Families treasured them not merely for their sweetness, but for the memories they carried. Children pressed their noses against frosted windows, watching the first snowfall, while parents carefully wrapped each candy in wax paper or decorative boxes to share with friends, neighbors, and visiting relatives. Unlike the mass-produced candies of today, Vermont Maple Creams offered a personal touch. Each bite delivered warmth, nostalgia, and the unmistakable flavor of real ingredients, free from artificial shortcuts. During the holidays, they were often placed in glass bowls or festive tins on the coffee table, ready to be enjoyed during long evenings of conversation, laughter, and the quiet joy of togetherness. Their smooth, creamy texture melted slowly on the tongue, leaving a lingering sweetness that seemed to stretch the magic of the holiday season just a little longer. These small, golden treats were more than candy, they were a symbol of comfort, tradition, and the simple pleasures of life during a time when homemade sweets were central to family celebrations. Though Vermont Maple Creams have nearly vanished from modern kitchens, they remain a shining example of the timeless appeal of carefully crafted, nostalgic holiday confections. They remind us that sometimes, the sweetest gifts are the ones made with patience, love, and a touch of history. Cherry Chocolate Cordials. Step into a 1950s holiday kitchen, where the scent of rich chocolate mingles with the crisp winter air drifting through frosted windows. Among the treats that adorned every festive table, cherry chocolate cordials held a special place. These candies were small, glossy spheres of chocolate, hiding a luscious cherry center soaked in syrup. They were the kind of indulgence that made every holiday gathering feel a little more magical. Families treasured them not only for their taste but also for the craftsmanship involved. Making cordials at home required patience and care, pitting cherries, soaking them in syrup or liqueur, and carefully enrobing them in chocolate. This labor of love meant that each piece was unique, carrying the warmth and dedication of the hands that created it. During the holidays, they were placed in glass bowls, silver trays, or decorative tins, ready to be shared with visiting neighbors, friends, or grandchildren. One bite released the perfect harmony of rich chocolate and sweet, tender cherry, leaving a lingering flavor that felt luxurious yet comforting. Cordials were more than candy, they were an experience, a treat that invited slow enjoyment and careful savoring, turning even brief moments into memories. For many families, cherry chocolate cordials represented a holiday tradition, a way to show care through homemade artistry. They were often reserved for special guests or family celebrations, adding a touch of elegance to the table. Though modern versions of chocolate candies dominate stores today, these classic cordials remain a nostalgic reminder of a time when sweets were made with intention, patience, and love. They embody the joy of sharing, the magic of the season, and the simple yet unforgettable pleasures of holiday kitchens in mid-century America. Painted marzipan fruits. Step into a 1950s holiday kitchen, where every dessert table was a miniature work of art. Among the colorful treats that captured attention were painted marzipan fruits. These delicate candies, crafted from almond paste and sugar, were molded into tiny apples, oranges, pears, and other fruits, then hand-painted with bright, natural hues. More than sweets, they were edible ornaments, each one a small masterpiece of care and craftsmanship. Families took pride in making these treats. The process required patience and precision. Almonds were finely ground and blended with sugar to form a smooth paste, then shaped into miniature fruits. Once formed, they were carefully painted to resemble the real thing. Children often helped with simpler tasks, like brushing on color or arranging the fruits on decorative trays, while parents handled the delicate finishing touches. The result was a candy that looked almost too beautiful to eat. Painted marzipan fruits were more than decorative, they were a symbol of the holiday season itself. They adorned dessert tables, holiday platters, and gift trays, providing bursts of color and whimsy amid more traditional confections. Their sweet almond flavor was subtle but satisfying, offering a delicate contrast to richer chocolates and fudge that often filled the same table. These candies also carried memories. They recalled holiday mornings spent in bustling kitchens, laughter echoing as families worked together, and the excitement of seeing a table filled with festive treats. Though modern holidays rarely feature homemade marzipan creations, painted marzipan fruits remain a reminder of a time when creativity, patience, and care turned even simple ingredients into objects of beauty. They are a testament to the artistry of home cooks and the joy of creating sweets that were both delicious and unforgettable. Thin peanut brittle sheets. Step into a 1950s holiday kitchen, where the sweet, nutty aroma of caramelized sugar fills the air. Among the treasured confections of the season were thin peanut brittle sheets, crispy, golden, and crackling with each bite. Unlike modern candy bars, this brittle was handcrafted, requiring careful attention to sugar temperature, precise stirring, and the perfect toast on roasted peanuts to achieve a delicate balance of flavor and texture. Families cherished this candy not only for its taste but for the ritual of making it. Preparing brittle was often a communal activity. Parents monitored the sugar as it boiled to a precise amber hue while children arranged the peanuts evenly across the syrup, learning early lessons in patience and timing. Once poured onto oiled sheets and allowed to cool, the brittle was broken into thin, irregular pieces that seemed to shimmer in the light. During the holidays, thin peanut brittle sheets were often placed on decorative trays or wrapped in waxed paper, ready to share with neighbors, friends, or visiting relatives. Each crackling bite offered a satisfying crunch, a rich caramel flavor, and the comforting familiarity of home. For many, this candy symbolized the warmth of holiday kitchens, the joy of shared moments, and the simple pleasure of enjoying something made entirely by hand. Though modern confections dominate store shelves today, thin peanut brittle sheets remain a nostalgic emblem of holiday traditions in mid-century America. They remind us of a time when candies were crafted slowly, with care, and served not just for taste, but for the joy of giving and gathering. Every brittle sheet carried a story of family, patience, and festive celebration, making it more than candy. It was a memory, a seasonal ritual, and a delicious link to the past. Traditional chocolate fudge. Step into a 1950s holiday kitchen, where the rich aroma of chocolate fills the air and the warmth of the stove spreads throughout the room. Among the holiday sweets that families treasured, traditional chocolate fudge held a special place. Dense, creamy, and perfectly sweet, this candy was more than a treat, it was a labor of love, a testament to patience, care, and the joy of creating something by hand. Making fudge required attention and timing. Sugar, butter, milk, and chocolate were combined and heated to precise temperatures while being stirred continuously. Families often gathered in the kitchen during this process, children watching eagerly as the mixture thickened, learning the delicate rhythm of a task that demanded focus and care. Once poured into pans and allowed to set, the fudge was cut into uniform squares, ready to be enjoyed or wrapped for gifting. Fudge was not merely candy, it was a centerpiece of holiday traditions. Placed in decorative tins or glass bowls, it invited sharing during long winter evenings, accompanying laughter, conversation, and the comfort of family gatherings. Its smooth texture and rich chocolate flavor offered indulgence, a sweet reward that carried the warmth of the kitchen and the spirit of the season. For many, traditional chocolate fudge symbolized more than flavor, it was a connection to home, family, and generations of holiday memories. Though modern convenience has shifted many families toward store-bought sweets, this classic fudge remains a reminder of a time when homemade treats were treasured above all else. Every bite evokes nostalgia, reflecting a holiday era defined by care, patience, and the simple joy of sharing a sweet made with love. Traditional chocolate fudge endures as both a confection and a story, a delicious link to the heart of mid-century American holidays. As we look back at these 5 forgotten holiday candies, it becomes clear that they were never just sweets. They were moments. They were traditions. They were tiny pieces of mid-century American life shaped by patience, family, and the comfort of a homemade treat. Each one carried a story that stretched far beyond the kitchen, a story of winters spent together, of laughter shared at crowded tables, and of holidays that felt slower, warmer, and somehow fuller. Vermont maple creams, cherry chocolate cordials, painted marzipan fruits, thin peanut brittle sheets, and traditional chocolate fudge once defined the spirit of the season. They came from hands that believed homemade was not only good enough, it was the heart of the celebration. And even though many of these candies have nearly disappeared from modern kitchens, their memories continue to glow like old holiday lights that refuse to burn out. If any of these treats stirred a memory for you, or if they sparked a curiosity to bring an old recipe back to life, then this journey has done exactly what it was meant to do. These candies remind us that history is not found only in books or museums. Sometimes it lives in a simple recipe card, tucked inside a drawer, waiting for someone to notice it again. So if you love discovering the foods America forgot, if you enjoy exploring the dishes that shaped our families and our history, then you are in the right place. Join us here on America's Lost Recipes, where every video brings another piece of the past back to the table. There is so much more to uncover, and I would love for you to be part of the journey.